the CBA, which is like one of the worst, like the football players union, it has to be the worst. Like, this league flaunts all the money it makes, and yet they don't have guaranteed contracts. They have a terrible pension plan. They have a terrible health insurance. Gary, can you imagine you play 3 years in the average career is 3.5 years. So you play 4 years. You're 26 years old, right? 22 when you get in the league. You play 4 years. You're 26. Do you know what kind of health plan they give you? So you have to wait 5 years after your last year in the league. So at 26, you get health insurance at 31. At 31 until you're 36 for those 5 years, you're covered by the league. And after
they tell you not to gamble.
Yeah, right. And then after that, you're on your own.
Yeah.
You're on your at age 36, you're on the hook for your medical benefits for the rest of your life. Like,
go deal with your CTE.
Exactly, and go deal with the chronic pain that you have from being in basically a car accident every 30 seconds. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But anyway, now I bring up this because the CBA is so bad that they signed this deal where basically teams can use up the running backs, have them carry and touch the ball 1 million times, and then when their 5 years are up, say, thanks a lot. I'm going to go get somebody younger. We're not going to pay you. Or we have your rights with the franchise tag for the next 2 years, Gary. How did they ever sign a deal that works like this? This is a league that once had some of the greatest players in football were running backs. Barry Sanders, Eric Dickerson, Jim Brown. Those guys couldn't even play now. It's unbelievable, and I get that the game has changed and it's a passing league, but this is totally unfair, and that's because Saquon Barkley is basically holding out, Josh Jacobs as well. These guys want to get paid what they feel they deserve. The Giants are a good team because of Saquon Barkley, not Daniel Jones. They are. And when he's running the football, but they're better. But anyway, Austin Ekeler had some comments about this, and I want you to hear Austin Ekeler, the running back, who's taking up and defending for these guys. We got Austin Ekeler? There we go.
Something, right? Whether some guy stands out again, whether it's this year or one of these guys holds out and gets a big contract, but we need that needle to move to push us over the edge. Because here's the deal. Mm-hmm. The salary cap goes up every single year.
Yep.
Right? And so you see new highs in every single position. And I'm not saying we've had another Christian McCaffrey type guy who's going to even, blow up the market in the running back and put a new high. We've had people that have been close for sure. Maybe you could justify that there has been, but there's no one even been close to those contracts. Not even close.
And you're talking about, and Austin Ekeler, of course, the Chargers running back, he was talking earlier in the week, too, on the Rich Eisen show. This was some comments that he made. But here's the other thing. Ekeler is talking about the 3 franchise tag running backs, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and Tony Pollard. And now don't forget Dalvin Cook's on the street. Like they decide that they're not going to pay him. This guy was a big part of the Vikings.
They make him pay late, right? To me, the issue with the running back is that the NFL creates the system to where running backs are most valuable when they're not allowed to ask for more money.
Right.
And then when they finally get to that point of 3 or 4 years down the road in their career, everybody looks at them and says, well, there's no reason to pay this guy. Let's just go draft another running back. Well, then what's the point of having a great running back? What's the point of being a great running back? Because in order to create a world where people want to be and are going to practice to be the greatest running back of all time, you need to put a system in place to where that's rewarding.
What? No doubt about it. That's a great point. If you're a kid, or if I had a kid and they were playing football, don't be a running back. They're going to use you up and you won't get paid, and then you can't play with your kids when you get older. Seriously, because your legs are so mangled and beat up. Why? Why are they doing this? And you know this, Gary. You can't throw the ball every down. There are situations in football, winning football, where I need 2 yards. And if I don't get 2 yards, it's the difference between winning and losing. And when you can't run the football, you become one-dimensional, and you're normally not a good team.
Yeah, we're getting to the point now where fans are starting to get in step with the owner and saying we should never pay these running backs unless he's a receiving running back, right? That's what they say. Oh, well, we use him out of the backfield. So technically it's not bad because he's almost like a guy who's going to run to the middle of the field and he'll catch us 50 or 60 balls. I'm sitting there looking at it and I'm like, okay, we are setting up the fans and the owners and the players and saying, it's acceptable for your most valuable years, your first 4 seasons as a running back, making you run essentially yourself into CTE long term. And then you're going to tell me that those same running backs who have been productive each of their first 4 seasons, maybe some of them dealt with injuries, ran right through them, and you're going to turn around and not pay them. Whether or not we have to pay them early, I don't know what needs to happen. Incentive-based contracts, I don't know exactly what the solution is. But in terms of being a great running back, right now there's no reason to be one.
And here's the other thing, and you're right. The other part is, but in order to win, they need you, and this is the other part that I think is so unfair. There are other positions and players where they might start out great and then fade, but those guys get paid. And they don't hold it against all those people. Carson Wentz got paid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? But you don't go, well, I'll never pay another quarterback because I don't know if he's going to last 3 years. Right? You never hear anybody say that. Oh, don't pay the quarterback because we don't know if he's going to get hurt or if he's going to be the same or if he's going to duplicate his rookie year or whatever it is or a lineman or a DB or whatever. You never hear that if one of those guys are bust. But if a running back doesn't have a good year after he gets Ezekiel Elliott, see, that's why you can't pay a running back. These guys, all I know is the Cowboys were better when Ezekiel Elliott was running the football. Am I lying, Gary, or not?
You're not lying. And
they
how
were
about
better.
Baltimore? Is Baltimore better when Lamar Jackson's running the football?
Yes, they're better than they are.
Him. Right. I don't get it. See, to me, if you're sitting here looking at running the football, the best football teams in the world find a way to implement the running game. I understand we're going away from the running game. I got that. But at the same time, if you're going to run somebody for 1,000 yards for 4 seasons, and I know there's not a ton of running backs in today's game who are doing that.
Because they split time, yeah.
It's not the time. But you cannot allow somebody to put their body through what they're going through. And they finally get to the point where they can actually reach out their hand and ask you to write a check. And now you're going to say, well, I'm done with you. I'll go get a 3rd-round running back. That's unacceptable. It just is. And I understand why players want to take a stand. I do.
And I'm going to say this. Hats off to Saquon Barkley. At some point, somebody has to stand up and not accept it. And it might not work out for him. You know what I mean? Like the way that the system is set up. The system is bad for him. The system is bad. Okay, the way it's set up. But I'm not mad at him to say, no, you're not going to do this to me when you know the Giants aren't nearly as good if he's not running the football. Go ahead, let Daniel Jones throw every down and see how many games you win. That's what he has to hold out for, is that he's got to make the Giants blink. The Giants know they're not good if Saquon Barkley's not running the football. Am I wrong or right?
You're absolutely right. They know it.
They know it.
Know this. The fans know this. Without Saquon Barkley, the what you're seeing out of their quarterback is not happening if they don't have the run game. If they haven't established the run game in the first half, that is why you see the tight end wide open in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Yes.
Establishing the run, which, by the way, I'm not teaching anybody anything about football right here. Everyone knows running the football establishes and opens up the field for the passing game. We've known this. So when you're talking about a team that's up and coming, and a guy has essentially been running through a wall for you for 3 or 4 seasons, you need to reward somebody that's put you in the position that you're in. And right now, I completely understand. I get why it doesn't happen. NFL teams feel like it's our best bet to just redraft a running back and move on and take the assets. But right now, as a running back, you cannot allow that to happen. You cannot allow people to create your market and essentially to evaporate that market, something that's going to take food off your table.
No doubt. And it's not fair to these guys at all. I just do not understand why people are cool with this and why, as you said, so many people are on board. Oh, don't pay the running back. Oh, don't do it. Oh, these are fans. What really? Why do you care as a fan? They've brainwashed you into believing about the damn salary cap, which is phony. It's phony. They gave a limit to stop each other from having a free market system, Gary, and having a rogue owner drive up the price. That's what that is.
It's now the owner and the fan against the player.
Right.
We don't want to pay him. Why would we pay this guy? He's a waste. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, this person, the guy who's the name on the back of the jersey that you own right now, you're going to make the argument that number 26 in blue doesn't deserve an extension? You have a lot of nerve.
No doubt about it.
I'm going to be rooting for him.